Alright, Shreya. In this video, I'm going to discuss all the questions that you have sent. So, along with the PDF, it would be easier to understand what I was doing for each of these questions. So let's start with question number 2. In question number 2, they are mentioning that the sum of real numbers x and y is 21, their difference is 15. What is the value of xy? So I think the process to start would be very same. I would try to find out what the sum is. X plus y is 21, x minus y is 15. If I add both of them, I get 2x equal to 36 and x is equal to 18. If x is 18, that says that the y is equal to 3. That would mean that xy is 18 times 3, which is 54. Alright. Okay. Next question. The directions for a punch call for 3 cups of juice concentrate to be mixed with 5 cups of water. If the directions are followed, how many cups of juice concentrate will be needed to make 80 cups of punch? So here we are looking at a ratio question. So the ratio question would work like this. I have the amount of juice is to water. Amount of juice is to water has to be 3 is to 5. Right? Amount of juice as to water has to be 3 is to 5. Now juice plus water is making punch. Juice plus water is making punch. Why this is important? Because you see at the end you're looking for how many juice for 80 cups of punch. Okay, so 3 cups of juice. So what we can see is the ratio of juice is to punch. Okay, if I look at the ratio of how much juice is in punch, right? So if there are total 8 cups, out of that only 3 are juice, right? Because see, I'm taking 3 cups of juice, 3 cups of juice and 5 cups of water. So what am I doing? I'm creating 8 cups of punch, because all of these together are becoming punch, and out of those 8 cups only 3 cups are juice, which means this ratio 3 is to 8 has to be maintained. So if I'm looking out of 80 cups of punch, how many cups will be juice? The equation that I'm looking for is something like this. X over 80 is equal to 3 over 8. And solving this, 3 times 80 over 8, you'll get that, okay, this is 30 cups. Alright, let's move on to the next question. I think you're asking question number 25, so I'll do that. A tortoise moves x times as fast as a snail. A hare moves y times as fast as the tortoise. The hare moves how many times as fast as the snail? So let's say in these kind of questions you can always start with a basic speed. Let's say speed of snail is 1. Okay, we can start with a basic number. If tortoise is x times faster, it means his speed is x times 1, which is x. And therefore, the speed of the hare is y times that of tortoise. So that is y times x or xy. Okay, a group of 25 cells triples in number every hour. At this rate, how many cells will be in the group at the end of the 5th hour? Okay, so let's write down R and the total volume of the cells. So basically at the starting, at 0 you have 25, right? And after that it's pretty much multiplying. After the end of 1 hour it will be 75. After the end of 2 hours it will be 75 times 3, which is 225. After 3 it was going to be 675. After 4, it's going to be that's 15, 20, 22, 18, 2025. And after 5, it's going to be 6075. All right. Okay, in how many distinct order can 5 students stand in line to get the yearbook? Okay, so this is basically what you call an arrangement. Okay, now an arrangement, the formula that we are looking for is something like this. If I have to arrange k people, to arrange k people in a line can be done in you can say five p 5 ways. Now 5p5 formula, or if I look at a general NPR formula, if there are total, I use the NPR formula when I have to choose. I have a block of n people. From there I am choosing r people, and then I am arranging. Okay, so for example 6, I have 6 people. Out of that I'm choosing 3 people, and then I'm arranging those 3 people. So that is why in our case it is 5p5, because I'm arranging all the 5 people. So the formula for this is n factorial over n minus r factorial. This in our case, if I look at 5p5, is 5 factorial over 5 minus 5 factorial, which is 5 factorial over 0 factorial. 5 factorial is nothing but multiplied with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which comes out to be 120. 0 factorial is just not 0, it is 1. The other way you could have looked at here is that if I have 5 places, in the first place I could choose any of the 5 people. In the second place I have the possibility of choosing any of the 4 people, and same it goes on and comes around 120 basically configurations. For a right triangle ABC, sine A is 2 by 3, what is cos of A? So here we use a formula that sine square A plus cos square A is equal to 1, right? So if sine A is 2 by 3, sine square is 4 over 9. So cos square A is equal to 1. So cos square A is therefore 1 minus 4 by 9, which is 5 by 9. And therefore cos A is square root of 5 by 9, which is root 5 over 3. You should have noticed that root 13 by 3 cannot be right, because cos A is always less than 1. For a certain angle with measure theta, sine theta is 0.4, what is cosec theta? Now what you have to remember is cosec theta, first of all it is CSC. CSC means cosec. COS means cosine. So cosec theta is just 1 over sine theta, which is 1 over 0.4, which is 10 over 4, or simplified is 5 over 2. Okay, let's start with the first one. Happy Soup Company stamps a 6-character product code, on each can of the soup it produces. Each product code consists of 5 letters, 6. Okay, followed by a single digit. From the digit 0 to 9, the letters may repeat. How many such product codes are possible? Okay, so the idea is that there is no limit on repetition. So similar to a question that we did earlier, there are possibilities of all 26 A to Z I can use here. And because repetition is allowed, there earlier was there that if I had chosen someone, I could not choose them again. But if repetition is allowed, I can choose 26 out, any of the 26 characters, any of the 26 alphabets here. And for the last digit, I could choose any of the 10 digits, 0 to 9. Which means the total number of choices I have is 26 to the power 10 times 10. Okay, now let's look at this question. For all real values x, the value of x minus mod of x. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm looking at x minus mod of x. Now x minus mod of x, remember, mod of x remains as it is, as a number inside if x is greater than equal to 0, or it becomes negative x when x is less than 0. So the best way to do is look with an example. Suppose my x is equal to, one time I'll take it as 4 and one time I'll take it as negative 5. So if x is 4, mod x is also 4. If x is 5, mod x is 5. So in the first case, my x minus mod x would actually be 4 minus 4, which is 0. And in my second case, x minus mod of x would be negative 5 minus 5, which is negative 10. So what we are seeing is that if x is negative, if x is negative, mod x minus mod x will be negative if x is negative, and this will be 0 if x is positive. Hence it is never positive. Sorry, it's here, it should be 0 if x is positive, which means, see, the result is that the result is either negative or 0. It is never positive. Let's look at this question. Simpson's Manufacturing tested the hydraulic pressure capacity of two brands of valves, valve A and valve B, on their hydraulic pressure pump. Valve B allowed a slower decrease in pressure than valve A, followed by a slower increase. So a slower decrease and a slower increase. Okay. The minimum pressure for valve A. Okay, so let's try to imagine first of all what the situation would be like. So obviously, let's say this is the starting point. So the first thing that we are told is valve B allowed a slower decrease. So this option gets eliminated. This option gets eliminated because valve B has to be decreasing slower. Now, valve B also has a slower increase, which means this option gets eliminated. Valve A, okay, the minimum pressure for valve A was less than the minimum pressure for valve B. So this goes, because the minimum is actually more, so minimum has to be less. So this answer is E. Okay, for all values of x such that sin x is greater than 0 and cos x is greater than 0, which of the following expression is equivalent to? So here, see, sin x is greater than half cos x, right? The cos x is multiplied to half. So I can only, and because it's positive, because cos x is positive, I can divide. I can divide both sides by cos x, and sin x by cos x is basically tan x, that is greater than half. Okay, given 6x minus y is equal to x plus 5y, which are the following is the expression for y? So I would start with 6x minus y is equal to x plus 5y. So 5x should be equal to 7y, and we're looking for y, so equal to 5x by 7. Wait, what did I do wrong? Okay, yeah, this is where the mistake is. 5y, this should be 6y, and this should be 5x by 6. Okay, an angle with measure theta such that sine theta is 5 by 13 is in the standard position with its terminal in quadrant 2. What is the value of cos theta? Okay, so here the way it works is, first we start with sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then we find cos square theta is 1 minus sine square theta, or minus 25 by 169. I'm just squaring 5 by 30. So this comes out to be 144 by 169. Now cos theta is plus minus 12 by 13. Here the point you have to notice is, and first of all, in the options only there is no positive 12 by 13, so you can directly go for negative 12 by 13. But yeah, in second quadrant cos is negative, so it has to be negative 12 by 13. Wait, what happened? Okay, so in this question I have a plus b whole squared equal to a square plus b square. So a square, wait, what is happening?